Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Pokemon TCG Pocket. In today's video, we are checking out every card from the new set, going through our initial thoughts on them. I haven't read through all of them yet, so I just popped a couple packs on one of my accounts. I'm saving to do a big pull session once the servers fix up. They've actually been pretty decent, but if you are wondering if you should pull on this one, it is going to be around for a while. My last video was a whole video talking about how many free packs you'll essentially get through this one and the duration of it, so go check out my last video if you're on the fence about opening packs on this one, or specifically not opening packs, specifically using your hourglasses. But let's get into the cards. We're going to rush through anything that's not too interesting. We're not going to spend too much time on, but there are some pretty cool cards in here from what I glanced at. So let's get into it. Massive shout out to Pokemon Zone for getting these up so quick. So we've got Heracross, 100 HP basic Pokemon to retreat. We've got the Kingler type effect with a bit lower numbers, which is 50. Flip 2 coins. If they're both heads, it does 70 more damage. So we've got 120. I don't think this is going to get massive play. More cheesy decks when those flip reliant ones. Burmy is fairly basic. You know, you just got Ram. It's only got 50 HP and 1 retreat. A lot of these ones do actually have 60 HP, so it's a bit lower on those numbers. Into Motham, which is 2 energy for 50, 90 HP, 0 retreat cost though. That's the catch with this Motham, is it does have the 0 retreat cost. Next up we have Combi, which is a 50-21. Okay, maybe there's changing it to 50-21 to be the normal, because Cherubu is also seeing the 50-21 treatment. So not too sure what the go is there, because normally it had been 60 pretty commonly. But there we go, that is the Combi. Into the Vesper Queen, 3 grass energy, reckless charge. This Pokemon does 30 damage to itself for 120. It's only got 100 HP into retreat. I'm not a massive fan. We'll have to wait and see. Cherubu, we mentioned, it's got the 50-21 split. Cherum got Worry Seed with 80 HP, 1 retreat cost, 40 damage for 1 energy. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused. This could be kind of annoying as a, you know, a bit of a stall type play and a bit of a pivot. So I'm curious to see, maybe this does get a tiny little bit of play. And then we've got the other Cherum, the Sunlight Cherum, which is going to do 60 damage for 2 and heal 20. Still, once again, not massively game-breaking, this one. I don't see it. Carnivine is the next one. We have seen this one before. 80 HP. If you have Arceus or Arceus EX in play, attacks used by this Pokemon do plus 30 damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. It's a basic with 1 retreat and a 1 cost 20 damage. This thing is pretty damn solid in my opinion, and I haven't checked out every card, so maybe it could actually see some play. We'll have to assess once we look at everything else. Leafeon EX. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is in the active spot, you may take a grass energy from your energy zone and attach it to one of your grass Pokemon. Now, I can't remember which Pokemon it was that we saw in the leaks. We'll find it out here. That was basically a permanent X speed if it's on your bench. I feel like Leafeon with that could be huge, because you can run pivot plays where you retreat, but you can only retreat once per turn. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe this could be a play. Any sort of energy ramp seems solid. It's only 70 damage is the one issue for 3 energy. Obviously, giving it the 3 energy cost due to the fact that it is getting the energy ramp as well. 140 HP. I don't know. I feel like we could see some definite Leafeon play. I do like anything that gives you pluses on energy. Next up, Houndour. Okay, Houndour. Now we're back to a 60-21 combo. I love Houndour, Houndoom. The Houndoom looks sick as well. This normal card art looks absolutely savage. I heard it's got a full art, so we'll see that at the bottom. But dude, this thing looks absolutely savage. It is essentially Arbok, but in fire. 100 HP, 1 colorless, 1 on-color energy, 60 damage during your opponent's next turn. The defending Pokemon can't retreat, and it's a 2 retreat cost. It is literally Arbok in a red version. Next up, Heatran. Okay, so Heatran, 110 HP. If you have Arceus or Arceus EX in play, this Pokemon has no retreat cost. Really nice for pivoting. I spoke about this in a previous video. If this Pokemon has damage on it, this attack does 40 more damage, 80 damage. 3 retreat cost is a big issue unless you are playing with Arceus. So I don't see this thing getting much play outside of Arceus play, but maybe it will. Meryl back to the 60-21 split. 60 HP, 20 damage for 1 energy and 1 retreat cost. Azumarill is that standard just upgrade. You think about things like your Golduck. This is basically Golduck, but sacrificing 10 damage for a bit of extra HP. Does also have the 2 retreat, which is a bit of an issue. You know, they're the kind of cards, like, you can win with them in decks, but, you know, I don't think decks are going to be about those cards. Barbaroach, I'm not liking the 2 energy attack, but it does only have the 1 retreat. Whiscash, I always hate saying this thing's name. We got 4 energy, 120 HP, Thrash, 80 damage, flip a coin. If heads, this attack does 60 more damage. If tails, this Pokemon does 20 damage to itself. I don't like it. It's too much energy, 3 retreat cost. You'll definitely see some wins with it, but I'm not a massive fan. Snorunt, another one with the 60 HP, 1 energy, 20 damage, 1 retreat cost. Frostlass, oh, we're not getting, damn, we're not getting Glalie. Frostlass, unless that's water. Okay, 90 HP, Blizzard for 40 damage. This attack does 10 damage to each of your opponent's benched Pokemon. Okay, I definitely think this will see some play combined with Cyrus. I think that's pretty savage. Although it is the 2 energy, he's the 1 though. I definitely think we will see some fun stuff with Frostless. Snova, 2 energy attack, 70 HP, 2 retreat cost. Abomasnow, if you have Arceus or Arceus EX in play, attacks used by this Pokemon cost 1 less energy. I wonder if you have 2. Okay, if you have Arceus, I think that's capped at 1. I was trying to figure out if you had 2 Arceus on the bench, whether you could get 2 of those. But it's also just 1 less colorless energy, so you wouldn't be able to stack 2 even if it was a mechanic. It's basically a stage 2 with a 2 water attack for 80 damage, 3 retreat cost. A bit of bulk though. So, I mean, this could be a fun one to play. I do like Abomasnow, so I might give that one a bit of a whirl. We've got Origin Forms, dude. All right, so the Glaceon, we looked at this one during your Pokemon checkup. It's basically, while this is in the active spot, it's like an extra poison tick on your opponent. It does have the 3 cost, though, for 90 damage. The 3 cost is a bit hefty, but it's only 1 retreat cost, so I feel like you could play it as a wall, pivot it out, and you've just been getting free chip damage. Origin Form Palkia, 120 HP, 3 water energy, 60 damage, flip a coin. If heads, this attack does 60 more damage. So 3 energy, 60 or 120 damage. Honestly, not too bad for a basic with 2 retreat cost when Leaf's a thing. So honestly, not too bad. Fiona, what do we got? We got 60 HP, 2 water energy, 40 damage. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now asleep. I don't think I'd use it too much. It's a bit squishy for 2 energy to get placed on it to get that out. Another Pikachu, 60 HP, Spark 10 damage. This attack does 10 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Honestly, I like this for a Pikachu. I like this more than even the 30 damage one if you've got the bench. It just gives you more tech options with that one. One of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Is that random or is that targeted? I can't remember. Raichu EX, if you have Arceus or Arceus EX in play, this Pokemon takes minus 30 damage from your opponent's attacks. 40 damage. This also does 20 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Like I said, I'm not a massive fan of this. I think some of the other Raichus I like more, but I guess I gotta play it to feel it. Dude, I love Manectric and Electrike. I love this line. So we got the standard 60-21 on Electrike, and what do we got for Manectric? Dude, I love the art too. It looks so cool. This thing's color palette is just so damn savage. It looks insane. Okay, it's a 1 energy. I love anything with 1 energy. Flash, 40 damage. During your opponent's next turn, the defending Pokemon tries to attack. Your opponent flips a coin. If tails, the attack doesn't happen. Dude, I love Manectric. I actually really like this. It's like an inverse Doug Trio. Because it's like flip a coin and then you take no damage, but it's like this one's more problematic for them, I feel, depending on the kind of deck they're playing. Dude, I love Manectric. I'm definitely going to play this a bit. I like it. I like it. I like stage 1s that only have a 1 energy attack and a cool effect. If it had 0 retreat cost, I would have been all in. I would have been all damn in on this thing. But the 1 retreat cost is a bit annoying. Copium for the 0 retreat cost. But hey, that's a cool card. Biased because I love it. But hey, let's give this a play. Clefairy, 60 HP, 30 damage for 2 energy and 1 retreat. Clefable, 100 HP, 3 energy for 60 damage. During your opponent's next turn, attacks used by the defending Pokemon do minus 30 damage. It's 2 retreat. I'm not a big fan of that one. Oh, we got another Gengar line. Holy, is this going to make the thing OP now? Astonish from Ghastly with only 50 HP. 1 colorless though. Flip coin. If heads, your opponent reveals a random card from their hand and shuffles it into their deck. Dude, I'm going to build a Gengar deck. This is so toxic. I love this kind of toxic play. That is so fun. And it's colorless, so you can troll people in any deck. Oh, bit of card advantage. I do like it. I like the Ghastly. I reckon we will see tech Ghastlies in other decks. Haunter, Mumble, 40 damage for 2 energy. Then Gengar, what do we got here? 140 HP, which is solid for a one prize. 2 energy, 70 damage. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now asleep, and it's only a 1 retreat cost. Honestly, I like this Gengar. I'm not a massive fan of the Haunter. I'd rather the other Haunter with 1 energy cost for 30. But I like this Ghastly into this Gengar. Maybe you run a Gengar EX in there as well. I like this. I like this line. I think I'm going to play this line. Oh, we got Unknown. Check. Once during your turn, you may choose either player. Look at the top card of that player's deck. Okay, 20 damage. This is splashable because it's colorless. The Rotom, we went through this in a previous video. If you have Arceus or Arceus EX and play this, has no retreat cost. Dash does 20 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. I'm not a massive fan. You watch, because I'm not a fan of this card, I bet you it's going to see like massive meta play. Sudowoodo, 80 HP basic, 1 fighting energy. 20 damage. If your opponent's active Pokemon is a Pokemon EX, this attack does 30 more damage. 2 retreat cost. I'm not a giga fan on this. I do think it could see some tech plays in some of those fighting box decks, depending on what the meta looks like. If the meta is very, very EX driven, then I definitely think this could see some play. I don't like the true retreat cost, but if you're running Leafs, maybe. All right, Fampi, 60, 20, and 2 retreat cost, unfortunately. Donphan looking absolutely savage. I love the look of this Donphan. 120 HP, rolling spin, 60 damage. During your next turn, this Pokemon's rolling spin damage does rolling spin attack does plus 60 damage. I do like that. I do like the Donphan with the rollout type plays, shouting out the original games. But it is 3 energy, and he does have a 3 retreat cost. Unless we have a ramp version for Donphan, I'm not liking this too much. I'm not massive, especially with the Fampi having the 2 retreat as well. I'm not too sure. All right, Larvitar, we've got 60. We've got a 2 energy attack with 30 damage, but at least it is only a 1 retreat. Pupitar is a 3 energy attack, which I really don't like. Once again, I'm hoping there is some ramp for these guys as we go down. Start at a 2, 3, 4. I don't like the 2, 3, 4 lines. And then Tyranitar, if you have Arceus in play, attacks by his attacks do plus 30 damage. And yeah, it's a 4 for 130. So you're looking at a 160 swing. There is a bit of stuff at 170 these days, and it's a 4 retreat cost. I feel like Tyranitar got done dirty. I'm not a massive fan. Nose Pass, 3 retreat on a basic always sucks for me personally. I'm not a massive fan. Metatite, 60 HP, 20 damage, 1 retreat standard. Metacham, we got 100 HP, 1 energy, kick shot, 80 damage. Flip a coin if tails, this attack does nothing. Honestly, it's pretty savage for a 1 energy. I mean, it's Flip City, but if it goes well, it goes well. Gibble is a 60-21 standard basic. Gabite is I really like the Gabite only having a 1 energy attack. This is really, really solid. I am a big fan of these lines with 1 energy attack, so you can play a bit more energy efficiently if you're starved and you need to load something else up. So I do really like that, and only the 1 retreat. I love this Garchomp at 170 with the 1 cost attack to do the extra damage, the damage to, one of your opponent's Pokemon. So even if their active Pokemon's weak, you can still snipe that. The Dragon Claw is a little weak on damage, but with the versatility of this evolution line, I definitely think Garchomp EX will see some play. It does have a grass weakness because it is no longer dragon. Zubat is 50-21. Golbat is 80-31. Is that the same as normal Golbat? Or is normal Golbat 20? Yeah, normal Golbat. The other Golbat's the same, isn't it? Unless I'm missing something. There might be like a HP difference or something like that. I'm not too sure. But it's very, very similar. And then the Crobat. I love this Crobat. Once during your turn, if you have an Arceus or Arceus EX in play, you may do 30 damage to your opponent's active Pokemon, and it's got a 1 cost of Darkness Fang for 50 and a 0 retreat cost. I love this card, and I love the evolution line, once again being cheap on energy. I'm definitely going to play some Crobat. I love it. Okay, Krogunk. Good. Krogunk's getting a buff because the previous Krogunk sucked. 60 HP, 1 energy, 20 damage with a 1 retreat cost. And then Toxicroak, another Pokemon I have always loved. 100 HP, Toxic. 1 energy. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned. Do 20 damage to this Pokemon instead of the usual amount for this special condition. Okay, you're basically forcing a switch with it. Unfortunately, if that was colorless, like you'd... Oh, no, wait. I was going to say you'd play it with Houndoom, but you could play this with Arbok. Maybe this with Arbok could be a thing, but... I don't know. It sounds like you could have fun with it, but I don't think it's going to be that strong. Magnemite, 60-21 standard. Magneton is a stage 1 with 90 HP, 2 energy attack for 30 damage and 2 retreat cost. Then that Magnezone, if you have Arceus or Arceus EX and play this Pokemon, takes minus 30 damage from attacks and it has a 3 cost attack for 80 damage and a 2 retreat. Once again, I mean, you could stack... It could get pretty chunky. I mean, 140 HP with the extra damage reduction, plus we got the new supporter that reduces damage further. It means it could be pretty chunky for a 1-pointer to try and claim. But the one thing is, it's a stage 2, which takes longer to get out. We'll have to wait and see. Mawile, 70 HP, 1 energy cost basic, 20 damage plus. If your opponent's active Pokemon is a steel Pokemon, this attack does 30 more damage. Depends how much steel we see in the meta. Mirror matches. Besides that, I'm not seeing too much out of this. It has no evolution. If you're not fighting steel, it's kind of just trash, in my opinion, to have it in your deck. Probopass EX, 160 HP, 3 energy, 90 damage. During your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon takes minus 20 damage from attacks. Very, very similar to what we see with the Magnezone in the fact that it can get quite chunky, especially with the new support, but I honestly just prefer Magnezone to Probopass, even though it is a stage 2. Yeah, you got bigger damage reduction, very similar attack. Yeah, and this is a more retreat. I just kind of like Magnezone more, to be honest. Bronzor is a 60-10 1 retreat. Bronzong is 120 HP, 3 colors. So this is a colorless line. You can splash this in anything with Dialga ramp, with Manaphy ramp if you want to. Psychic, 50 damage. This attack does 20 more damage for each energy attached to your active Pokemon. So it's the Alakazam effect, but massively weakened. You know, 2 energy, you're doing 90. I don't think this is going to be great for breakpoints. I kind of just like Alakazam more, even though it is a stage 2, but maybe we squeeze this in. It is, once again, colorless, so the more universal ramp we get, the more likely this could be a tech play. Origin Form Dialga, 120 HP, 3 energy, 100 damage. Flip coin. If tails during your next turn, this Pokemon can't attack. You'd be wanting to run this with Leaf. Could work maybe with Dialga EX ramp. We'll have to wait and see. Giratina, I have no idea how Giratina is getting play unless we got some support that I haven't seen yet. But 1 grass, 1 psychic, 1 colorless, 120 damage, discard 2 random energy from this Pokemon. I just don't see it unless there's a specific Giratina supporter. I hope this thing gets an EX, but yeah, I'm not a big fan. Eevee, we got Tail Whap. 60 HP, 30 damage for 2 energy and 1 retreat. Snorlax, very standard stuff. This Pokemon is now asleep for... I don't think this isn't even a good wall anymore. Like, I just don't like this. Snorlax has been done dirty. I'm not a fan. I'm just not a fan. Anyway, Hoot Hoot. 60-21 standard stuff. Noctowl, 100 HP, which isn't bad for a stage 1. 2 energy, Silent Wing, 50 damage. Your opponent reveals their hand. I mean, this could be fun. This could be fun one in some of those toxic decks. Not toxic as in poison, as in disgusting play decks, but we'll have to wait and see. Starly is a 60-21. Staravia is an 80-31, which I do like for the 1 energy cost. I do like this on your stage 1s with the 1 energy. Staraptor being a little bit awkward with Brave Bird, 130 damage, 20 damage to itself, 2 retreat cost, 150 HP. It's the 3 energy cost I don't like on this. It definitely misses out compared to like original Pidgeot. You know, like, it's just not quite up there for me. Shaman, as long as this Pokemon is on your bench, your active basic Pokemon's retreat cost is 1 less. It's basic Pokemon. So what I was saying earlier with the Leafeon won't apply because it is just basic Pokemon. And then we got 30 damage. This is kind of like a bench support that's going to be, yeah. I mean, basic heavy, like EX basic heavy decks, maybe this gets some play. Arceus, normal Arceus. Dude, I love the normal Arceus artwork as well. 120 HP, 4 colorless energy, 100 damage, discard an energy from this Pokemon, and 2 retreat costs. I'm not a massive fan, but I definitely think this could see some play as a basic with 120 bulk to wall and pivot out to basically activate the effects of your other Pokemon. And once again, it's all colors, so it synergizes with whatever color Pokemon that synergizes with Arceus that you want to use. So maybe it does see some play over the Arceus EX. Arceus EX is that 140 HP. It can't be affected by special conditions, and it has the 70 damage plus 20 more for each of your bench Pokemon, giving it the 130 ceiling, which is pretty decent. Irida, We got heal damage from each of your Pokemon that has water energy attached. Here 40 damage. Like I said, I do like this, especially with Manaphy. I think if you're running the Manaphy ramp decks, you're basically going to put this in probably. I think that 40 damage could be clutch in a lot of situations. And also great to avoid things like the Cyrus. Celestic Town Elder. Put one random basic Pokemon from your discard pile into your hand. It's one of those ones that would feel too bricky early for me. It feels like it's taking up a spot that you could get early and you're just going to be like, oh, rip. It could come in clutch in situations. I don't think I'm not thinking I'd like to put this in decks, but it may be one of those ones where you put it in and you test it and you're like, oh, I actually like it. Barry on your Bazza. During this turn, attacks used by your Snorlax, Heracross, and Staraptor cost 2 less colorless energy. That Staraptor's looking a little bit better now because it's a 1 energy cost. I still don't think Snorlax is seeing any play. What was the Heracross again? That was the Kingler effect, wasn't it? So I guess Heracross is a 1 energy, 50 damage straight up with that. With the possibility of being 1 energy, 120 damage on turn 1 if you're going second, which is honestly not too bad. I think there's some fun plays to be had with that. I'll have to look at the old Staraptor as well and think about that. Okay. Adaman. During your opponent's next turn, all of your Steel-type Pokemon take minus 20 damage from attacks from your opponent's Pokemon. Cool beans. And that is it for the set. That is everything in the set. Honestly, I'm really excited for the Garchomp. I really want to play with the Manectric. What else am I excited about? The Ghastly, the Gengar line. The Evolutions I want to play with. I like the Houndoom. Heatran, I think I'll do a bit of playing around with. There's honestly some solid stuff, but nothing that makes me go, oh, I'm I'm giga excited. Like Crobat's another one I'm really excited about. Yeah, let me know what are you guys most excited about. Like I said, I'm going to be saving on my free-to-play. I will do some packs on my spender account, obviously. But yeah, my free-to-play I will be saving and waiting. But let's take a look at some of these artworks. Dude, the Houndoom looks savage. I love Houndoom. The thing is, they put so many cool Pokemon in this set. Like just Pokemon that I personally love. Houndoom is wicked. Dude, it looks so good. Meryl, I'm not too stressed about. The Unknown, I'm not too stressed about, but it is in front of the ruins, which is kind of cool. The Sudowoodo, the Magnemite. We've already seen the Shaman. We've seen that Magnemite as well. Okay, here's the 2 stars. Dude, the Garchomp looks sick. I love the Garchomp. Leafeon and Glaceon. I like it when the background is a different color to the actual Pokemon. Like the green gets washed out, the blue gets washed out, but like, you know, the goldy, bronzy background with the Garchomp in it, I think that looks sick for a 2-star. Probopass, it looks like I like the palette of it, but I'm just not a fan of Probopass. And Arceus, I don't know, like the background just melds into the Pokemon too much. Not too sure. Irida looks okay. So the Elder looks okay. Barry looks okay. Dude looks savage in this art. And now we got the Rainbow. Dude, the Garchomp. This is the card I want the most until I see the immersive and the gold. But dude, the Garchomp, that artwork is next level. That is next level. I love that artwork. That is my favorite. That's going on the thumbnail. And then we have the Probopass sitting in the rain with the little attachments. Dude, I love that. Arceus EX, the crowd rate just once again looks a bit flushed out. I'm definitely keen to see what the immersive looks like. But that is a look at all the cards. Like I said, what are you guys looking forward to the most? Honestly, I just really want to get my hands on these Garchomp EXs and start playing that. I just really love the line. But yeah, let me know. What are you guys most excited for? But that is every card from the new set. So you guys can start planning out what decks you want to build. But as always, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day. And I look forward to seeing the next one. Cheers.